Hello, Pisces. Welcome to 2026. And this year, we're going to focus on giving energy readings. And this will only be available on my YouTube channel. Okay, so like, share, subscribe in order to learn about the energy for 2026. And we're going to start with today, January 1st. And we're going to cover the first 10 days of January. Okay, so before we get into the actual reading, I'm going to give you a lesson card for the first 10 days of January. And maybe not quite the first 10 days. It'll be from today, Thursday, January 1st, until Saturday, not the 3rd, but Saturday the 10th. So that is the first 10 days. Okay, so your lesson for this first portion is going to be, so this is discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to, and you definitely can do that. So your call from the universe is to focus on being disciplined, set your mind to something, and complete it. And you can do that using one of my many resources on my website. Now, this is a journal that I made for myself, but you can also get one of my other journal items online and set your intentions in there. Again, Pisces, I recommend my Pisces Rising for self-mastery so that you can do the work there. The other thing that I want to give you is there's more than one thing. There's two other things. It's the moonology energy that's going to be traveling with you during this season. And this is the first 10 days of 2026. So this is energy from the moon, and it is not definitely lined up with whatever the moon is doing. This is just an energy that just follows you, right? That you need to be aware of. So we're going to pull a card, if I can get the cards apart. And your moon, this is the giver's moon. You're very close to achieving your goal. So this is the energy that is following you during this time, these first 10 days. So if you take the discipline that's out there and you apply yourself, you can actually achieve your goal. You're really so close to getting there. Don't give up. And it's the start of the new year. Why would you even want to give up? The next thing we're going to pull is a numerology guidance card. And I'm pulling these before doing the reading because I know some of you guys are interested in these energies and some of you guys are more interested in the astrology energy. So let me know which way works for you. You want to see the astrology first or you want to see the energy from the cards first? So we're going to pull a card for you from the deck here. And this is the numerology energy that is going to be guiding you during these first 10 days. And I'll show you a card. And it says moderation. This is the 14-5, which is a karmic number. And the 14-5 is suggesting that you don't want to do things in excess. You don't want to gamble too much, eat too much, sleep too much, right? You want to actually be disciplined, right? And work towards achieving whatever goal you have. In my journal, I don't do just a goal, I do action items. So whatever action I'm taking is going to get me closer to whatever that thing is I want to achieve. Part of that is perhaps you don't want to eat too much sugar, which is a common thing for people in January, but you don't want to completely cut it out. So maybe you say, I have 2 days a week where I eat 0 sugar and that kind of thing. Moderation is going to be the key for you in whatever it is that you are trying to achieve. And the last card that we're going to pull, which, by the way, if you guys keep watching throughout the year, I will pull some actual tarot cards for you guys because I have access to my old tarot cards. And they are old. I do have some new ones, but I love those old ones. But I also use playing cards because of my grandmother. So I'm going to pull an energy from the playing cards, and this is a intuitive reading about the energy that's associated with you. And what is that? Oh, and this is the 5 of Hearts. Now, the Five of Hearts is kind of important because, of course, everyone thinks of the Five of Hearts as love, right? And I just use this is about changes in love, freedom in love, expressions in love, because the hearts represent love, of course. But I don't look at this as just love and changes and movement in love, because that's what it is, movement in that area. For a relationship, romantic relationship, I look at it as relationships in general. So this could be relationships with your children specifically, right? This could be relationships with students. This could be relationships with your career where you actually earn your money. So you might be feeling some type of joy, contentment, and then thinking, maybe I need to take this to another level, right? Because the five represents freedom on one level. So perhaps you like those things, but you want to do something to where that relationship can have more of a freedom around it. So if it's like your kids, perhaps your kids are learning to drive and you're going to have to trust them and give them freedom. If it is a career that you have, perhaps you're looking at, okay, I like this career. I think I can do it long term, but maybe I want to do it remotely, or maybe I want to do it in another city, or maybe I want to do it in another country. Okay, so that's that energy. Now, let's get into the astrology energy. The biggest thing for everyone is that we have the Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Mars all riding together, and they are riding together in the Sagittarius constellation. And wherever Sagittarius is for you, that's where that house is going to be hit the most. Okay. So for the world, we see this. Now, when the Sun, Mars, and Mercury and Venus get together, you can think of it like the father and the uncle go on a road trip with the children. So what happens? They don't necessarily eat the best, right? They get into a little bit of trouble. They have a little fun and cause some chaos. That's the energy that you see right now. That's for everyone. So it's a lot of masculine energy and a lot of weaker energy. So it's because the sun and the Mercury, excuse me, the sun and Mars are the parents, the male figures, not enough feminine energy there, pretty much riding with the impressionable children. So could this be good because you're going someplace? Yes, but it also has room for chaos because there's a lot of masculine energy there that's just like, hey, let's let the boys be boys. And remember, Venus is a very feminine energy. In this case, you can think of the Mars energy as the uncle who kind of likes Venus when they shouldn't. So together, that means that there can be some challenges in the relationship aspect. There can be some things that are off balance in your life whenever this kind of energy hits. Because it's following with Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is a really public figure, this could mean that your appearance and your what people see and how they perceive you is a little off from who you are. It's not in line with your character, or something may have happened that is out of your character that causes people to see you in a different light. So you have to be very careful with that. Initially, when we start out, we also have to deal with the fact that this is taking place in your seventh house. This energy right now is in your seventh house of partnerships of other people. So then this is definitely a little bit of chaos in that. And then there's some other connections that are being made that are not what is considered the norm. So perhaps you are a person who is dating a person that someone else in your family used to date, or one of your friends used to date. It's a relationship that's not exactly aligned with what most people consider normal. It's like breaking some rules. Perhaps you're also a person who's entering into a sexual relationship that is of a different status. Like it's not you're a woman and you're being with someone who's bisexual, or you're a man and you're getting with someone who's a lot younger, or you're a woman, vice versa, right? You're entertaining relationships that are outside of the norm, which brings about a little bit of chaos. Okay. And this is, when I say relationships, remember, relationships in this case, in this scenario for the seventh house, It's actually a partnership, not like the fifth house where it's just casual. So this is something where there's a commitment. So that's how you start out this energy. In addition to all of that, Jupiter is really being its nice expressive self in the third constellation, right? So that's Gemini. So this is about your writing, your communication, and this is a time where you're expressing yourself more. That also is a way that your image can be seen a little off by others. But expressing yourself is giving you a sense of joy. It's giving you a sense of purpose because you want people to know who you are instead of them assuming. Okay, that part is good. That's good for you. That's good. And actually, right now, that's good for your body because it is releasing some stress from you to say your truth. The other energy that we have that's really critical is Saturn is in Pisces, which I mentioned that before. Saturn is going to be in Pisces for quite a while, which means that discipline card that came up for you is very important because Saturn is a worker. Saturn has a plan. Saturn gets things done. Remember, Saturn, it rules Capricorn and Aquarius. Those are the two servant worker types, right? The Capricorn energy is going to work the plan, get it done, make the money. The Aquarius is going to get things done, but they're going to do it in this very unique, innovative way, which means for you, Pisces, this energy being in Pisces, Pisces doesn't like the rules. Pisces likes to have some freedom. So having that freedom means that Pisces can say, I'm going to do this work Tuesday, or I'm going to do it Thursday, I'm going to do it whenever. But Saturn is bringing you back down, grounding you a little bit, and telling you that during this time, especially these 10 days, you need to be diligent in the work that you're doing and put some things on paper and actually get things done and stick to that plan, which might be a little bit more difficult for you, okay? But you will be rewarded in the end. Another thing that I always tend to mention for you guys is that this is also an energy of kind of husbandry, which means like farming. So some of you guys are starting some type of maybe a urban garden or maybe a indoor hydroponic garden, but you're going to have to actually work on it every day. If not, it will fail. So this is something else that's showing up for you. This you kind of want to create something and make it become a reality, but you don't want to halfway do it. Okay, that's the general energy for this week. We're gonna push through a couple of days here just to see this energy. So what happens is now this energy is going to be a key player all the way till we're now on the 10th. So on the 10th, actually before the 10th, one of the other things that you happen is the moon. The moon is going to be with the south node. And the moon is going to be with the south node in the third house. And this means that secrets are going to be revealed in the third house, which the third house, communication, siblings, things that bring you pleasure, things that bring you joy. So maybe there was something that was hidden that is going to be revealed to you. And that would be starting the 7th of the month. And by the time you get to the 10th, the moon's energy is going to go to your 4th house. And in the 4th house is going to be that Virgo energy. Virgo is about health, and Virgo is about the intestines, and the moon is about illuminating information regarding the health and the intestines. So I would caution you to be careful regarding what you eat and your health and your intestines. And not just that, the intestines, because it could be illuminating something else depending on what type of Pisces you are. Remember, I have the different levels of Pisces. So, and especially I spoke to someone about there's a first, second, and third decan Pisces, but there's also the numerology aspects of being a Pisces. So depending on which one you are, what gets highlighted. But that starts on the 8th. So from the 8th to the 10th, you might see some information come to light about your health specifically. And then let's look at this is okay. So the other thing that might come up is that you have a desire to help people who are suffering. So in whatever way they're suffering. But the health thing that comes up is gout, arthritis, and flagellants. So a gas problem, intestinal issues coming up. But for those of you who are in a industry that works with helping people with their health, which I do that as well, this is the time for you to actually get your information out and start working with more clients. Make sure that you're being fair and honest about what you're able to do for them. But this is a time where you are needed the most. So, and this is not just the medical doctors, these are your holistic health practitioners, because it's alternative therapies that are being utilized, because K2 is closely associated with that. And K2, which is the South Node, is actually more of an innovator, right? In the way that things are done. Okay, that's the energy that I have for you guys from January 1st through January 10th. Diligence was the card for you. Remember to stay focused, get things done. Bye, Pisces.